As usual, I'm just going to let the words flow. It's Saturday morning, and I tried to make a video outside, but there's some carpentry work going on across the creek, so I'm back in here in the corner of my bedroom with my little Ningarelia beside me. We all have the givens of our lives to work with. In other words, I'm an American female living in a certain little community on this planet in the cosmos. And I'm all of these things and none of these things. I've been reading a book I like called The Corridor of Shadows by Muhyiddin Shakur, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of his name, but he's a Sufi, and I like Sufis. He speaks of this world as being the corridor of shadows, where you have the ego on the one hand and the spirit on the other, where you have the world, which is under the control of evil, and you have consciousness, which is completely godlike. We are, after all, pieces of God that make up the whole of God, and yet we are the whole of God manifesting as a piece of God. It's all paradoxical. You can't figure it out with your head. So many esoteric teachings speak of Golgotha, the place of the skull, is being trapped in your head. And that when you reach enlightenment, it's just because you've descended from the skull into the heart. That's where the resurrection of the Christ consciousness happens. But anyway, in this book, Corridor of Shadows, Shakur is talking about the difficulty of remembering who we are in a world of shadows. We try to accumulate things for our shadow self, and it can't be done. We try to store up head knowledge, but ultimately you lose it all to become the Christ consciousness. And what I'm learning lately is that it's time for me to go out into the world consciously. And I keep having these sweet little experiences. The one I had yesterday was I went to the grocery store, and as I stopped in front of the Mexican food items and was trying to figure out if I wanted soft tacos or corn tortillas, a man came up beside me and was looking at the salsa selection, and he said, somebody is coming along right before me and buying all the salsas that I want, and he said it with a twinkle in his eye. And so I looked at the shelf and I said, well, have you tried the store brand? It's really good. And he said, yeah, but he said, I tell you what I've tried before, this peach salsa, I'm going to go with that. And so I said, are you by any chance on the path? And he said, yes. Not only that, he's a cancer survivor. Not only that, I told him that I was practicing being more authentic with people and making the first move. And he said, well, I'm glad you confirmed that for me, because I did the same thing just the other day. I told someone what my line of work was, and they said, oh, well, you might be interested in meeting so-and-so. They could use your work or whatever. So there you go. And I asked if I might give him a hug, and of course he said yes. So there was another hug given, and another confirmation for me that in this world of shadows, I can be a light being. And I have to choose it. I have to initiate it. Now, these little things happening to me are very small. But the very small is the very big, and the very big is the very small. So see, judge not, lest ye be judged. So that's my little story to share with you today.